Tonight on KVR News, student government elections take over UT's campus.
See how a summit encourages all Latinos to find their voice.
And Texas voters rush to the ballot for the presidential primaries.
You're watching KVR News, your leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening and welcome back to KVR News for Monday, February 29th. I'm Luqman Adeniyi.
And I'm Ashley Tsao. Thank you for joining us.
Tomorrow is Super Tuesday, which is the largest election of the year. 12 southern states, including Texas, will hold primaries and caucuses for the Democratic and Republican parties all on Tuesday. Texas itself has 155 delegates for the Republican Party and 222 delegates for the Democratic Party. With these high numbers, Texas is the largest state this election season to hold a primary.
And with Hillary Clinton's big win over Senator Bernie Sanders in California, the competition between them is getting stronger as they head to the southern states. As for the Republican candidates, Donald Trump is getting some heat from his GOP opponents for failing to disavow former Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard David Duke. John Kasich and Marco Rubio have made comments towards the controversy in public rallies, while Ted Cruz took to Twitter and tagged Trump saying, quote, "We should all agree racism is wrong, KKK is abhorrent. With Super Tuesday only hours away, it's unclear whether the controversy will affect the outcome for Trump."
And a challenge to a Texas case on abortion restrictions will return to the Supreme Court on Wednesday. The court will clarify disagreements on how far states can go in restricting abortion. Planned Parenthood versus Casey is a 1992 federal case that expanded the power to restrict abortions to states. A Texas law creating new standards for clinics has closed nearly half of the state's abortion clinics since 2013 because they couldn't keep up with the changes. A tie in the Supreme Court ruling would leave the Texas law in place. If the abortion law is upheld, another quarter of abortion clinics could close, leaving clinics open only in major cities. And the UT System Board of Regents has approved a tuition increase. This is the first rise for undergraduate tuition since 2011. Undergrads will now have to pay an extra $152 for the 2016-2017 and 2017-2018 school years. According to a mass email from UT President Gregory Fenves, the tuition increase will also be applied to non-resident undergraduate students and graduate and professional students. The rise in tuition is aimed to help UT continue to improve programs for students that will, quote, help them receive a world-class education. And Fritz Steiner, the Dean of Architecture here at UT, announced last week that he would be leaving the school. He cited concerns for the state's campus carry legislation. The law, which goes into effect August 1st, will allow handgun owners to carry concealed firearms on public college campuses, including inside buildings. His resignation came a week after a statement from UT Austin President Greg Fenves saying he will comply with the campus carry legislation. In an email to the UT community, Fenves called Steiner's departure a big loss for the university. Steiner will leave the university at the end of June. He has accepted a position as Dean of the University of Pennsylvania School of Design, effective July 1st.
And the Flan Academic Center on UT campus had the highest number of early voters in Travis County. The FAC is thought to have brought in around 3,500 early voters last week. Early voter turnout throughout all of Texas has increased significantly this year compared to the 2014 midterm primary election. On UT, campus organizations such as UT Vote and Hook the Vote encourage students to participate in voting for the upcoming election. For this year's primary election, the Travis County Elections Division estimates around a 35% overall turnout for registered voters. We are entering the final push of campaigning for student government candidates. The West Mall is packed with their advocates hoping to drum up even more supporters. 4 groups are running for Executive Alliance, with only 3 for both Graduate Student Assembly President and Vice President. Voting will open on Wednesday, March 2nd at 8 a.m. and close Thursday at 5 p.m.
And grasping the Latino vote has been an ongoing challenge for many presidential candidates in previous years. Reporter Chelsea Moreno went out to cover the Latino Leadership Summit, designed to inspire Latinos to not be afraid to actively pursue change.
Students from all over the state gathered at the University of Texas at Austin for the annual Latino Leadership Summit. The summit included workshops about social justice and education issues, with even a panel discussion about the state and the future of the Latino community.
Everyone kept saying on the news, the Latino vote's going to be the biggest thing going on. It's going to be the biggest powerhouse.
The 2016 Latino Leadership Summit was held in the UT Student Activity Center. This year's theme centered on promoting civic engagement amongst minority groups. In an activity, students were presented with several historical figures in the Latino community. They explored their accomplishments in order to demonstrate how powerful they too can be.
Recognize the power we do have and then take the next steps into creating effective change for our community.
According to the Pew Research Center, 48% of Latinos voted in the 2012 presidential election, down the 1.9% who voted in 2008. This is the reason the theme of the summit was Tu voto cuenta, or Your vote counts, to encourage Latinos that their voice is important.
Helps to enrich your life just to know people from different backgrounds, to know what their struggles are, to know what their joys are, and to just know people who are different.
The summit hopes to continue to motivate people to have conversations about these issues. Chelsea Moreno, KVR News.
About 100 Austinites gathered at the George Washington Carving Museum on Saturday to attend the State of Black Austin. It's an event organized by local civil rights organizations. Speakers and panelists discuss criminal justice reform, economic empowerment, and gentrification in the Black community. The main issue addressed was the declining African American population in Austin. A study conducted by UT professor Eric Tang revealed that between 2000 and 2010, the Black population in East Austin had decreased by 60%, with the white population increasing by more than 430%. Tang also discovered that the main reason for the decline was the lack of affordable housing.
Austin is the only major growing city in the United States to lose its African American population between 2000 and 2014. Excuse me, 2000 and 2010. And what we mean by that is it was the only city with over 500,000 people that saw over 10% growth in its general population to see any losses in its African American population.
Coming up next, see how the UT campus takes on food waste in their dining halls.
And how one sport shoots for inclusion. Stay tuned for more KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. Starting in the fall of 2016, UT will offer a new major, a Bachelor of Science in Arts and Entertainment Technologies. Students will be able to take classes in 3 disciplines: music and sound, games and mobile media applications, and new performance technologies. The Center for Arts and Entertainment Technologies, which will house the new major, has paired up with UT Libraries to renovate the 4th floor of the Fine Arts Library to include new technology such as 3D printing resources. This is the first Bachelor of Science offered in the College of Fine Arts.
UT held its first farm stand in coordination with the UT Division of Housing and Food Service. The goal of the farm stand is to provide local and organic produce to students on campus while teaching about sustainability and the local economy. The produce was supplied by local farmers. Many goods were available, such as fresh bread, carrots, kale, sweet potatoes, and oranges. Students were able to leave suggestions, and there were many interactive events for students to learn about going green.
A lot of the times we don't have control over what we're eating or what we can be eating, and that's something that we thought if we can do something about it, if we have the choice and the support to help people be more connected to their food and be able to make these decisions for themselves, we want to do that.
Food waste is a topic that is gaining national attention. Around 1/3 per year, which adds up to approximately 1.3 billion tons. UT has been pushing initiatives to reduce food waste, especially in the buffet-style J2 and Kinsolving dining halls. Our Jina Chung has gone out to find out more about the food waste on campus.
The University of Texas at Austin has implemented several initiatives to combat the food waste in dining halls. For example, the university has reduced 40 to 50% of food waste by going trayless, one of the many initiatives put in place by the Division of Housing and Food Service.
The University of Texas at Austin is working hard to make sure that students are educated on the impacts on food waste so that we can mitigate the problems of wasting food. I mean, it's not just an environmental issue, it's a financial issue. So we want to make sure that food is prepared efficiently, and that it kind of starts there.
Last year, the students at UT Austin wasted 41 tons of food, which is heavier than the weight of 4 UT shuttle buses. The Clean Plate Club at UT teaches students about the economic and environmental impacts of food waste.
By diverting food waste, we could improve the quality of many lives and also decrease environmental degradation.
The University of Texas at Austin also has a partnership with Angel House Soup Kitchen, where the remaining edible food is donated.
It's important to us to donate our edible foods because while it is important to compost food waste, it's even better, environmentally speaking, financially speaking, morally speaking, to donate edible food.
Students are encouraged to not take more food than they can eat, and instead take little and go back for seconds if needed. This extra step would benefit both UT and the environment. Jina Chung, KVR News.
Public school superintendents approved a rule-making birth certificates, the official document for determining a student-athlete's gender for playing high school sports. The Legislative Council of the University Interscholastic League, which is the governing body for Texas high school sports, passed the vote on the proposed rule. Texas superintendents approved the rule 586 to 32. Critics note that the rule doesn't abide by the UIL's non-discrimination policy, which prohibits member schools from denying students the opportunity to play on sports teams based on their race, color, religion, disability, national origin, or gender. And there's a sport here at UT with a little twist. It's hoping to stay on campus and bring out anyone who is excited to learn new skills. Reporter Sandy Marin went out to see what this would mean to anyone who participates.
I'd never played before and thought it sounded like fun, so I decided to come try it out.
And is doing so by trying out wheelchair basketball at UT, and hopes others without disabilities will learn something new too.
And so hopefully, by getting exposure to this, they'll kind of learn more about what life is like for people in wheelchairs, or what adaptive sports are like, and see that it's something that people can do.
Playing adaptive sports is something Jen has been passionate about. He started playing with the wheelchair Spurs and sled hockey, winning Team USA a gold medal in the 2014 Sochi Paralympics Winter Games.
Which is something that's a very surreal experience, because if you asked me 6-7 years ago if I was going to win a gold medal or either mentoring people like that, I would say you're crazy, because I wasn't even sure if I was going to walk or run again after losing my leg in 2009. And we're just trying to raise awareness for disabilities, but at the same time kind of implement or input the adaptive sports here at the University of Texas to get the students with disability or students without disability to know about the game and everything else.
This wheelchair basketball clinic is one that hasn't happened at UT for over 5 years, but its return is now allowing students to try new things.
It's if you find something that somebody's passionate about and can go out and play, it's a really kind of a neat experience to see them develop and go and play.
State District Judge Julie Kokorek returned to the Texas courtroom. Kokorek was targeted 2 years ago in the driveway of her own home, where a gunman attempted to shoot her. The gunman opened fire but missed, although Kokorek was severely injured by flying gas and debris. Kokorek is not working full-time as she is still undergoing physical therapy on her arm.
Well, Ashley, this weekend we had a lot of wind, a little bit of cool temperatures. It's a little different than the heat that we've been experiencing.
And it's been feeling great, and we're hoping that these temperatures are going to last throughout next week. Our Kyle Summers has our forecast for the week. Kyle, what temperatures can we expect to see?
Well, we're definitely going to see some warmer temperatures throughout the week, and we can expect some sunny skies to shine as the week continues. I'll have more on this after the break.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News Tip Line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. It looks like we're going to be sunny and warm throughout the week due to a trough of low pressure sitting right over the Austin area. The mid temperatures this week should be hanging around the upper 70s, while overnight temperatures should stay pretty cool. Tomorrow we can expect a high of about 77 degrees, and thanks to a very mild cold front coming through tomorrow, our night should be about 45 degrees. During the day we'll have mostly cloudy skies that become bluer throughout the day. Watch out though for some gusty winds as Tuesday goes on. Wednesday we'll see sunny skies with a high around 73 degrees and a low that night of 54 degrees. Thursday should be the warmest day this week with a high of about 80 degrees and a low that night of 50. We should have a nice end of the work week on Friday with a high of 75 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. This weekend we can expect highs around the 80s and lows around mid 60s. It looks like it's pretty safe to say that Texas has skipped winter this year, but I'm definitely looking forward to the mild days that are coming ahead. Live in the Weather Center, I'm Kyle Summers, KVR News.
Well, thanks, Kyle. Sounds like we're going to have a nice week of weather.
And College Press Box's Jonathan Polasek will be in the studio to talk Longhorn sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm College Press Box's Jonathan Polasek. The Texas men's basketball team picked up an upset against the number 3 ranked Oklahoma this past Saturday at home. Let's check out the highlights from the Irwin Center to see what went down in the Red River rivalry. Texas is looking for revenge against OU here at home. Isaiah Taylor, he comes in, misses the layup, but Connor Lambert's there for the easy 2 points. Now we have Buddy Hield. He dishes it out to Isaiah Cousins for the open 3. Bang! You might want to guard that guy if you want to win, Texas. Now Buddy Hield, this time he says, I'll take it all the way in for 2 points. OU's going on a run in transition. Now here comes Isaiah Taylor. He drives in for the easy 2 points for Texas. Now here comes Ryan Spangler. Dishes it out to Buddy Hield. Bang for 3. Again, you might want to guard him as well. Now here comes Javon Felix. Double clutch and banks it off for the easy 2 points. Here comes Texas. Buddy Hield says, let me stop that. Here's another 3. You gonna put a big man on me? Now here comes Isaiah Taylor. He dishes it out to Eric Davis Jr. for the open 3. Now here comes OU. Ryan Spangler, he misses, but Dante Buford says, let me clean that up for you, big boy. Now here comes Buddy Hield. He misses, grabs his own rebound, and says, I'll put it back up for 2 and 1. Now here comes Prince Ebay. He says, get that out of my house. You can't do that here. But here comes OU for 2 points in transition. They ran in transition against Texas a lot on Saturday. Again, here's Buddy Hield with 2 points in transition and the dunk. Here comes Buddy Hield. He misses, but Dante Buford comes back with the 2 points. Here comes Isaiah Taylor. He drives for the 2 and 1. Now Isaiah Taylor, he dishes it out to Connor Lambert for the open 3. Bang! That was a part of a 22-0 run for Texas against OU towards the end of the game. Javon Felix, he drives in for 2 points, and Texas goes on to win 76-63 despite Buddy Hield's 33 points for OU. Now, College Press Box's very own Caden Kennard has more on the upset.
Junior point guard Isaiah Taylor had never beaten Oklahoma.
I know Isaiah. He hasn't said this to me, but I know him. He really, really, really wanted to win this game because he had never been a part of a Texas victory over OU.
Taylor controlled the game in the win against Oklahoma, leading Texas in points and assists.
He takes stuff like that personally. So I love that about him. I appreciate that. But he channeled it in the right way.
In the final 6 minutes of the game, Texas sprinted on a 22-0 run, earning their 4th victory over a top 10 team this year. And there was no court storming, and the team was happy about that.
We've been here before.
I was about to answer that.
Would you like to see him do that, though?
No. No, we don't need that.
The majority of Longhorn games remain close, and they plan for it.
Whenever the season started, Coach, we had 6-minute games, and it was the last 6 minutes, 6 minutes of the game. And we have 3 things that we focus on: making our free throws, solid on defense, and taking care of the ball.
To close the game, Texas made 12 of 13 free throws, turned the ball over once, and turned a 7-point deficit into a 15-point lead.
I mean, a lot of people doubted us coming into this game. I think that we just banded together as a team. We stayed connected down the stretch, and that's what got us over the hump. I think if we do that consistently, we can beat anybody.
For College Press Box, I'm Caden Kennard.
So I know that was a sweet win for the Longhorns. You know, they're now moved up to number 23 in the AP poll, but it seems like they're having some trouble with Kansas.
Yeah, maybe a little hangover from the OU game. I mean, Texas is down 63-34 right now in the second half. It's just one of those nights where it seems like Kansas can't miss and Texas can't buy a shot. But it seems like it happens all the time when Texas plays Kansas.
Well, hopefully they can pull it together. But all right, well, thank you, Jonathan, for joining us. We have Chelsea Moreno with the entertainment news. What's the latest breaking in the celeb world?
Thanks, Luqman. Well, a recap of the Oscars, find out who took the big awards, and Fuller House has premiered, but some fans aren't too happy about it, and find out which movie flopped at the box office. Stay tuned after the break for more KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
The 88th annual Oscars, dubbed the White People's Choice Awards by host Chris Rock, was a night marked by controversial jokes, surprise winners, and even Girl Scout cookies sold in the audience by the host's daughters. Kicking off the show with hot topics about the lack of diversity in nominees, protesters vowing not to attend the show, and police brutality, Chris Rock suggested the solution to all of this was to create black categories for the awards. Heartthrob Leonardo DiCaprio finally won his first Oscar for Best Male Actor in a Leading Role in the movie The Revenant, after previously being nominated 5 times. The biggest winner of the night was Mad Max Fury Road, which won 6 awards. Music performances in the show included Sam Smith, The Weeknd, and Lady Gaga with her song Till It Happens to You, which highlighted the startling issue of sexual abuse. She received a standing ovation from the moved audience as she joined hands with the real survivors to end. One could say Fuller House is a sequel to the 80s and 90s sitcom Full House. The show began streaming on Netflix this past Friday. The show has flipped genders to 3 women raising 3 boys, starring Candace Cameron Bure as DJ, who replaces Bob Saget's Danny Tanner. The sitcom has already gotten mixed reviews. Some say it's a happy trip down memory lane, while others wish the season was never made. Although pilot stars most of the original cast, some say all the old catchphrases packed into one episode was painful to watch. Gods of Egypt became this year's first box office bomb after the $140 million film only grossed $38 million during its opening weekend. The movie, set in ancient Egypt, has sparked widespread controversy due to the ethnicity of the characters who were cast in the film. White actors were chosen to play the main roles of Egyptian gods and mortals, whereas minorities were chosen to play secondary roles. Lionsgate Entertainment has apologized for failing to live up to their own standards of diversity. Well, that's all for your entertainment news. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KVR News ENT.
Thanks, Chelsea, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Luqman Adeniyi. For news and weather updates throughout the week, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News.
And I'm Ashley Tsao. Stay tuned for College Press Box up next on Texas Student Television. Have a great night.